It's a quiet night at Bruella's Tavern, where the beer flows cold and curiosity is always on tap. Inside, two old friends sit at a familiar table, one beer between them, and an ancient book filled with endless possibilities. Because this was never just about the beer. It's about the and. The mysteries that refuse to stay buried. The questions that linger in the back of the mind. The stories that challenge what we think we know about the world and ourselves. Each page holds a new rabbit hole, and every chapter begins the same way, with a pint, a question, and a courage to follow curiosity wherever it leads. This is a place for seekers, for storytellers, for anyone who's ever wondered what might lie just beyond the obvious. This is The Truth About Beer and...
Warning. Viewer, listener discretion is advised. The majority of the content of this program is not fact-checked, and it is highly advised that it not be used for teaching your children from said content, other than making an example of the hosts of what they should not grow up to be. Remember this, it's the beer talking.
The truth about beer and more we share. It's all the things we find so rare. We dive so deep with every sip and let our minds just take a trip. The end is what we chase each day. All the stuff we love to say. What's your end? Tell us true. All the things that drive you through. Grab a beer and let it flow. That's the way the good times go.
So Keith, here we are, first end of the new season. Are you ready to crack open some of the unknown?
I was born ready. The beer's cold, the pub's warm, and the book of ends is waiting.
From one of our viewers, Christine Ray. Paws and Premonitions. Do pets have a sixth sense?
Psychic pets. I love it already. And thank you, Christine. So we're asking, do our pets have ESP? Extrasensory perception. Or as I like to call in this case, extra special pets. Seriously, there are so many tales of dogs and cats seeming to know when something's up. From health emergencies to even knowing if someone's about to kick the bucket. Sixth sense? Can Fido and Fluffy sense these things before they really happen?
Right, like those stories you hear about, a dog who starts acting weird right before, grandma has a stroke. Or the cat that won't leave a patient's bedside because it somehow knows the person is near the end. It's wild stuff, folks. I'll have to say that this one kind of hits close to home for both of us, really. Yeah. So we're both big-time dog lovers or animal lovers, period.
It's our family, yeah.
Yeah. I've got my little dude, Eddie. We rescued him back in 2017, and I was raised with animals and dogs, and so it's just kind of carried on. So even my kids, all the pets that we've had while they were growing up. My son Jay's got 2 dogs, and I think he's got 3 cockatiels and some chickens, and so they're carrying on. And then my daughter Michelle, she's got 6 dogs. It's a regular zoo over there. And then my youngest, she's got 2 dogs, 2 cats, a couple hamsters, and she also has chickens. So she lives on a literal zoo over there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I could relate to that. Lindsay and I have 2 dogs, a cat, tortoise, bearded dragons, boa constrictor, The house is never quiet, of course. But, we love animals around here too, and that's why the episode really kind of hits home. The part that gets me?
What's it?
Is they know, right? They know when you're stressed. They know when you're sad. They know when something is wrong. Sometimes even before we do.
It's nuts.
Unconditional love has a way of sharpening perception.
And that's why this topic hits different. Before we even ask whether pets can sense spirits or danger or something beyond us, we already know they sense us.
Yeah. And they're tuned into our emotions, right? What else are they tuned into?
This is really tasty.
It really is.
Hey, Bruella, what is it we're drinking here tonight that's going to help us unravel this pet mystery?
Well, well, well. In your hands is something dangerously nostalgic. Wet Snout? Peanut butter stout? Yes, you heard me correctly. For generations, humans believed the pinnacle of flavor euphoria was a spoonful of peanut butter straight from the jar. No bread, no jelly, just pure, unapologetic indulgence. That belief was adorable, because then you got your paws on this. Smooth, creamy. Peanut butter that glides across the palate, followed by deep chocolate whispers, and warm roasted malt notes that wrap around your taste buds like a velvet blanket in a dimly lit tavern. At 5.7% ABV, it's strong enough to earn respect, yet balanced enough to keep you reaching for another sip. And a gentle 25 IBUs, just enough bitterness to remind you this is still a stout, not dessert in a glass. This liquid treasure was crafted by Sleepy Dog Brewing in Tempe, Arizona. A local pack leader that knew how to make a stout sit. Stay and impress. But here's where the story turns bittersweet. Sleepy Dog has closed its doors, and once this batch of Wet Snout is gone, it's gone. So, gentlemen, savor it, respect it, give it the attention it deserves, and maybe, just maybe, don't lick the glass when you're finished, because tonight you're not just drinking a peanut butter stout, you're tasting a farewell. Cheers, boys.
This sounds like a perfect beer for this hand. And I like it.
So before we get into whether pets can sense things, we can. I think we need to talk about something more basic. Why they matter so much to us in the first place.
Yeah, well, because this isn't just a fun topic. You're at a pet, then they're not just animals. They move in. They take over your house. And, somehow your heart.
So that's where tonight's hand takes us, huh? From love to intuition to something that might go beyond instinct. Are pets just incredibly perceptive? Or are they seeing something we don't?
Well, all right. So let's set the stage, right? Many pet owners out there claim their furry friends have some kind of psychic ability. We're talking about things like a dog who knows when you're coming home before you even arrive, or a cat that can detect an illness that no one else knows about. And is it really ESP? Or are they just incredibly keen with their normal senses, as to what's going on?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask our resident genius, Bruella, to give us some lowdown on what pets with ESP even means.
ESP, or extrasensory perception, refers to sensing things beyond the usual five senses. Claims about psychic pets usually involve animals anticipating events or detecting things unseen by humans. There are many anecdotal stories. Dogs who seem to know when their owner is on the way home, cats who hiss at unseen presences, and pets who alert owners to unseen dangers. Science hasn't officially confirmed any pet telepathy, but one thing is for sure. Animals have far sharper senses than we do, which can make them seem almost psychic. For example, a cat's sense of smell is estimated to be 9 to 16 times stronger than a human's, and dogs have up to 300 million scent receptors in their noses, compared to our measly 6 million. Dogs can hear frequencies way beyond our hearing range, and even detect subtle changes in barometric pressure or electromagnetic fields. So many sixth sense pet stories might actually be explained by a superpowered version of the 5 normal senses.
All right. To us, it feels like, how did Buddy know that? But the Buddy, it's like, dude, I smell it. How can you not? But what about the really uncanny stuff, right? Like sensing when someone's about to die. Or the stories, some heartwarming, some a little creepy, that you really just can't ignore.
Since antiquity, beasts have been the silent seers of coming doom. In ancient Egypt, the god of the dead bore a dog's head, Anubis guiding souls to the beyond. In Irish lore, when a dog howls at midnight, it's said he sees the spectral hounds leading a soul across the night sky. In the temples of Mesoamerica, faithful dogs were believed to guide their masters through the underworld. Indeed, the Aztec Xoloitzcuintli carries the name of Xolotl, god of death, entwined with the word for dog. For ages untold, mankind has watched our animal friends for omens, their cries and whispers hinting at things unseen.
So, people have noticed this connection for a long time. Dogs and death, cats in the afterlife, it's all over folklore. No wonder some folks just think their pet can sense spirits or impending doom.
It gives me the chills. I mean, if I hear Eddie howling for no reason, I might just have to get up and check the house for ghosts.
Yeah.
Or check on Grandma. But hey, those are legends. But there are some pretty incredible real-life cases that have been documented.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about a few of those examples of pets who apparently sense something coming.
They say animals know things we don't, that they can smell storms before they roll in, sense the end before it arrives. But what happens when our pets start predicting death, illness, or something stranger?
This is Oscar. He lived in a Rhode Island nursing home. His story made headlines, not because he was cuddly, though he could be, but because he could seemingly predict when a patient was about to die.
Oscar wasn't a lap cat, except at the very end. He'd hop on a resident's bed and stay. Within hours, they would pass. We came to trust him. Families did too.
And Oscar was so accurate that after he predicted around 25 deaths, the staff started to trust his instincts. They'd actually call the family of the resident whenever Oscar took a vigil on their bed, basically saying, it might be time to come say goodbye. I mean, wow. Imagine being able to do that. The cat was like an angel of mercy, or maybe the opposite of the Grim Reaper. The Cozy Reaper, bringing comfort.
Cozy Reaper, I like that. Spooky but sweet. And this wasn't just one crazy cat. There are countless anecdotes out there of pets seemingly knowing when someone's going to pass. I mean, I read one story about a dog that kept pacing and whining a few minutes before its owner's father died in the next room. And the dog had no way to know what a heart attack is, but it sensed something was very wrong. Sure enough, by the time the family checked it, it was too late. The dog knew.
maybe you heard a change in the man's breathing or heartbeat that the humans just couldn't detect. Or maybe something more mystical. I mean, who knows?
Noting stories like Oscar's have made even scientists curious. There was speculation that perhaps Oscar the cat was reacting to smells or other cues of a body shutting down. Research shows that once a person dies, the body immediately begins releasing certain chemicals that we humans can't detect, but dogs and possibly cats can. For example, in one forensic study, trained cadaver dogs were able to identify a piece of carpet that had been in contact with a human corpse for only 10 minutes with 98% accuracy. Even a carpet exposed for just 2 minutes to a recently deceased person was picked out 94% of the time. That tells us there are very distinct odors associated with death, even in the first moments.
Incredible. So if a person is near death, say their body chemistry is changing, organs are failing, the pet might pick up a scent or some cue or obvious to. Oscar might not have been a psychic in the mystical sense, but he sure was sensing something real.
You know, that makes sense. I mean, it could be smell of chemicals released as cells break down, or maybe the lack of movement, or a subtle drop in body temperature. I mean, animals are experts at noticing tiny changes. There's even evidence dogs can sniff out the breath of someone who's dying. I saw an example where a Borzoi dog kept nuzzling and sniffing an elderly woman's hair and breath a few days before she passed, almost like he knew something was off with her scent. The owner believed the dog sensed the change in her body chemistry as the end neared.
Wow, dogs have such an uncanny nose. That brings up another category of pet premonitions. Detecting illness before anyone knows about it. So, let's talk about medical detection. Bruella, what do we know about pets sniffing out diseases?
Plenty, actually. For years, there have been reports of dogs alerting owners to cancers and other illnesses. One of the first documented cases in medical literature described a dog that kept sniffing and licking a spot on her owner's leg, a mole that it turned out was a malignant melanoma. The dog literally led the owner to discover skin cancer that might have gone unnoticed. This inspired researchers to formally test dogs' ability to detect illness. In one UK study, scientists trained dogs to identify bladder cancer by the smell of urine, and the dogs performed remarkably well, far better than chance. In fact, during the training phase, the dogs repeatedly alerted to a urine sample from a person who was supposedly healthy. That prompted doctors to do further tests. And surprise, that person was found to have an undiagnosed kidney cancer. The dog sniffed out a cancer that even medical screening had missed.
That's amazing. Imagine you think you're fine, but all the dogs keep coming up and sniffing you like you're hiding steaks in your pockets. Turns out they're smelling a tumor. It's like a medical diagnosis from Dr. Fido.
I love it. Dr. Fido, oncologist, MD, master of dog. Well, it's not just dogs. There are hero cats too. I recall a recent story about a cat alerting his owner to cancer.
Yes, you're talking about Augie the cat, aren't you?
Augie is a cat from Minnesota. His owner, Kate, said Augie started acting very strangely with her. He'd always been cuddly, but suddenly he became almost obsessive about snuggling against her left breast, way more insistently than usual. He'd climb on her chest and then just plant himself there repeatedly. Kate felt something was off. Eventually, she experienced pain in that area, did a self-exam, and lo and behold, she found a lump. She went to the doctor, and it turned out she had stage 3 breast cancer.
My cat, Augie, wouldn't stop nuzzling my left side. I thought he was being sweet until I felt a lump. He saved my life.
So Augie basically pointed out the tumor with his furry little head. And now get this, after she went through treatment, surgery, chemo, and all that, she said Augie stopped focusing on that breast. It was like problem solved. Cat mission accomplished. Kate absolutely believes her cat was warning her of the cancer growing inside of her.
I mean, it's not just cats. All over the world, dogs are sniffing out cancers, warning of heart attacks, or barking at shadows no one else sees.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I read about a dog named Barry, who's basically a four-legged heart attack alarm. His owner, John, had serious heart disease and had many heart attacks. Barry somehow could smell a heart attack coming about 20 minutes before it struck. The dog would start pawing and whining to wake John up or get his attention, giving him a crucial early warning to take meds or call for help. In one case, Barry woke him up at 3 a.m. before a massive heart attack. John said Barry's early alerts are the reason he's still alive today.
That's incredible. 20 minutes warning for a heart attack? Barry basically gave him the chance to say, "Honey, call 911. I think I'm about to..." Ooh. I mean, that's something hardly anyone ever gets. So it's usually boom, lights out. But Barry, the wonder dog, saved his owner's life multiple times. Talk about guardian angels. This one just has fur and a wagging tail.
Yeah, Barry was truly on it. And that brings up an interesting point. A lot of these psychic pet feats have to do with medical stuff. Heart attacks, high or low blood sugar, seizures, etc. Many dogs are actually trained for these things now. You've heard of seizure alert dogs, right?
Oh yeah. Some dogs seem to know before a seizure hits that their owner is in trouble. They'll bark, get restless, even fetch medications or get the person to sit down safely.
Research backs this up. Scientists have discovered that epileptic seizures release certain chemicals that dogs can detect with their amazing noses. In one study, 5 dogs were trained to identify the smell of a seizure from samples, and they performed extraordinarily well. A couple of them were 100% accurate in distinguishing a seizure sample from a normal one. Essentially, seizures do produce a unique odor, and dogs can smell it. Some people have pet dogs who start behaving differently minutes before a seizure, whining, pawing, trying to alert the person, even without formal training. It's rare, but it happens enough that researchers took notice. It's likely not telepathy, but rather the dog sensing a subtle smell, or maybe a slight behavioral change in the person right before the seizure, like micro-movements or changes in breathing. Either way, it feels like the dog has a sixth sense.
So, summarizing it a bit, a lot of what looks like ESP in pets could come down to their supercharged ordinary senses. They have ultra-sensitive noses, ears, and even eyes, right? Night vision, wider fields of view, detecting tiny movements. They can pick up minute signals, an odor of an illness, a sound of an oncoming seizure. Some hypotheses suggest that maybe they hear something like a change in electrical activity. Who knows? Or maybe body language. We're not even aware we're giving it off.
Exactly. I mean, to a dog, we humans are probably like big walking signboards of scents and signals. We're an open book. Oh, he's stressed. I smell adrenaline. Or her blood sugar dropped. I smell ketones. Or, something's off with their internal chemistry. I mean, our pets live in a world of sensory info that we're blind to, so no wonder it seems like magic.
But are we saying it's all just super hearing and smelling? What about the truly unexplained stuff? Right? We touched on it earlier, like pets knowing when owners are coming home, even at odd times, or pets that react to an event that happens far away. So let's dive into that. Because some of it does start to sound like, dare I say, telepathy or some psychic connection.
Ah, the classic "I swear my dog knows exactly when I leave work and head home" phenomenon. I mean, some people chalk that up to routine. Fido's inner clock says it's 5 p.m., so dad's due home. But there's been actual experiments to test this in a controlled way. So, Bruella, can you fill us in on the most famous one?
You're referring to the case of JT, I believe. JT was a dog studied by researcher Rupert Sheldrake in the 1990s. Sheldrake's experiments were pretty well known because he claimed they showed a form of telepathy. Here's what happened. JT's owner would leave the house at random, unscheduled times and travel far away, over 7 kilometers away, so out of earshot. They videotaped the dog at home. What they found was that JT would start waiting by the window significantly more often when his owner was on the way back home, even though nobody at home knew when she would return. In fact, in trials, JT spent only about 4% of the time at the window during most of the owner's absence, but about 55% of the time at the window when she was heading home. His anticipation behavior often began just minutes before the owner set off for home, almost as if he picked up on her decision to come back. Sheldrake concluded that this might be evidence of a telepathic bond between pet and owner.
Wow, those numbers are crazy. 4% versus 55%. That's not just a fluke. So JT really did park himself at the window only when his owner was coming home. And because they randomized the times, it wasn't just a habitual 5 o'clock vigil.
Yeah, and skeptics did try to replicate it. Some said maybe the owner had a constant routine, or maybe the family at home subconsciously signaled the dog. But Sheldrake's team claimed to account for that with the random timing and even doing double-blind setups. It's still debated, but it's one of the best-known psychic pet experiments. And then there's the truly eerie, the dog that blocks you from walking out the door right before a disaster strikes.
He thought it was just another fishing trip, but his dog thought otherwise.
Dogs don't need a crystal ball. Their hearing reaches 4 times farther than ours. Their sense of smell? Up to 100,000 times more sensitive. A storm announces itself long before you ever check your weather app.
Sounds like fiction, but the man who stayed home that day, his dog's instinct felt like a miracle. And what about the unseen? Paranormal researchers claim dogs and cats can detect spirits. Is that superstition or a sixth sense in action?
Fun fact. Animals perceive things we can't, like electromagnetic shifts, subsonic frequencies, even hormonal changes. Maybe when your dog barks at the hallway, it's not a ghost. Or maybe it is.
Whether science or mystery, one thing is clear. Our pets are more than companions. They might just be our most intuitive allies.
Can I share something personal?
What do you do?
You know, I'm back in 2017, so same year that we rescued Eddie. Crazy thing happened. Went outside and there was a turkey running around. We had to do something about it because it was disoriented. I mean, cars are flying by. You know, it really didn't stand a chance.
Only you would end up rescuing a turkey.
Oh, it wasn't my idea, you know. Once Lisa saw that this turkey was in peril, she decided that we had to help and, you know, try to catch it. So let me tell you, that was not easy. So
I'm trying to picture you chasing a turkey around the neighborhood.
It wasn't dignified. But somehow I managed to wrangle it into a dog kennel, you know. Got the door closed, turkey secured. And Lisa and I look at each other and say, now what do we do with it?
Right.
You know. And so that's when Lisa went and did a little research and she found a place called Aimee's Farm. Time they were in Gilbert, they've relocated to Queen Creek now, but Aimee over there said, yeah, bring her in. So Lisa ran the turkey over there.
Yeah.
And, you know, Aimee took her in. And she named her Azalea.
Azalea? Who named her Azalea?
Aimee named
her
Azalea. But the thing is, she's incredible.
This is one of our turkey residents, Azalea. She is inquisitive. She has cared for baby chickens as her own. When Zobi had a surgery, she stayed with her all night. She likes to perch way up high. She is very talkative and will have a full conversation with you. She will keep the peace, in our large coop if ever there is a spat amongst roosters, and will be a referee to break up any arguments. She will let her flock know if a hawk is near with a specific call. Sometimes she likes to show off how fancy her feathers are. She likes to be hand-fed salad and loves watermelons. She is patient and kind. She is a someone, not a something, not a meal on a plate. She is a living being full of personality.
And Aimee just said, bring her.
No hesitation. I mean, that's who she is. She didn't just take Azalea, and she gave her a life. And what a great life she's had so far.
From the stray to a sanctuary queen.
Exactly. That's what Aimee's place is really all about. Rescue, rehabilitation, giving animals dignity, not just survival, but peace.
Aimee's Farm Animal Sanctuary in Queen Creek, Arizona, is a nonprofit devoted to rescuing neglected, abandoned, and special needs farm animals.
Cows, pigs, goats, donkeys, sheep, chickens, animals that would have been forgotten or given lifelong care. Some are differently abled. Some are elderly. All of them are treated like family.
You know, I love that people don't just rescue them, right? They create experiences, like the cow hugging sessions. People don't realize how emotional and intelligent farm animals really are.
And that's the part that hits me. I mean, Aimee started the sanctuary after adopting her first pig, realizing just how aware and affectionate those animals were. Just changed her life.
Yeah, and it's changing others, right? They offer tours, volunteer opportunities, even animal sponsorships. You can literally help support a specific rescued animal.
Yeah, if you feel moved by Azalea's story or any of these other stories, we're going to put all the official links to Aimee's Farm Animal Sanctuary in the description below. Website, Facebook, and ways to donate or even sponsor an animal or book a tour.
Yeah, and even if you're not local, you can still support them. And trust me, places like that survive because people care.
And because someone else said yes to a scared turkey.
Well, if animals do have a sixth sense, Azalea definitely sensed she landed exactly where she was supposed to be.
Yeah, maybe we all do. Sometimes animals save us.
Yeah.
In ways we don't even understand. And sometimes we just get the privilege of saving them.
Wow. Well, man, what a topic tonight, huh? And, thanks again, Christine, for suggesting this one. This was a definitely home-hitting topic.
Yeah, well, we asked a question, and I don't know if we got all the answers, but but I do know I'm going to trust my Eddie a little more from now on.
Yeah, especially if Shiva starts pacing and grounding around the closet, then I'm out. I'm gone.
Tonight's truth may still be fuzzy, but remember, animals do have sharper senses than we ever will, whether it's ESP or just really good instincts. They've earned our respect.
And maybe a few extra treats.
And to our viewers, what do you think? Have you seen your pet do something you just can't explain? Let us know in the comments. And more importantly, send us your suggestions for our next stand.
Yes, the book is always open.
God.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Some things in life are still beyond explanation. Maybe our pets are simply more in tune with the world than we are. To the air before a storm, to a change in a heartbeat, to the quiet needs of someone they love. And sometimes the greatest gift isn't what they sense. It's the compassion we choose to show in return. Whether through a rescued turkey named Azalea or the loyal friend curled at your feet tonight, one truth remains. They're not just pets. They're partners in this mysterious thing we call life.